Hi people, this is homework number 2, problem number 3. So the plan is to create a twisted, very simple twisted airfoil, twisted wing using the multi-section solid. Now this is a profile that I've drawn in an arbitrary way, but in reality, these can be any of the NACA, type profile, etc. And I'm doing it based on only 3 planes. They can be multiple planes, and it can be tapered. Actually, the size you can you can scale this, not only kind of. Project it and rotate it, but you can also scale it so that as it reaches the wing tip, the shape becomes smaller, but I'm not going to do that. Okay. First things first. I don't want to do work in a product file, so I'm going to close this thing and start with a part file. And I'm going to call this thing, I don't know, twisted wing. Okay. Immediately you will save this thing. File, save management, save as. On my desktop, I create a new folder and I'll call this thing homework 2. Okay. Let me say okay. My units are all in inches already, so I don't have to change them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the original airfoil profile on the say YZ plane, and then project it on 2 other planes which are parallel to that, 20 inches apart. So let me do the planes first. Here's a plane offset from this plane to 20 inches. Okay. Oops, where did that go? Oh, right here. And another plane offset from this, another 20 inches. Okay, we're good. So we go to that original YZ plane and sketch on it something that looks like that. Let me activate the grid here so that we can see it better. Let me see, where's the grid? I think it's this. Yep. Not that it makes a difference, but anyway, so a profile, I'm going to go like that, wrap it around, and we'll clean it up in just a minute. Okay. First of all, this thing, I want it to be on that axis, so this center point, control that, make it, I love this icon, coincidence. I want this, control that, you make a tangent. Okay, that's pretty much it. Now we give it dimension. Where's the normal view? I want to look at this thing directly on the normal plane. So there's an icon here. Let me pull these out so that we can see the rest of them. Right here, this is the normal view. So it slightly shifts it. Now, the distance from this point to that point is in the drawing 15 inches. And the radius of this is 1.5 inches. 1.5. We say okay. Okay, so we exit. Now I want to take this. By the way, let me maximize my window. Oops, we don't need the drawing anymore. I want to project this thing on that plane. So first of all, I go to that plane, I sketch on it. Instead of drawing exactly the same thing, what I can do is I can select and can say that project. This is the project icon. There it is, project. And 1. I think I need the control. Yeah. Oh, 2, 3, I don't need the control. And we say okay. So notice that it's projected there. All right. Now, let's not worry about this other plane. I will also do that later on. But first of all, let me hide that sketch 1. I don't want to see it. Sketch 1, I don't want to see it. Okay. normal view. I want to take this thing and rotate it by 5 degrees. The problem is that uh, this is projection and it's yellow, so I can't just go ahead and try to move things around. But what I can do is I can put the cursor there, right click. Actually, let me exit that. Let me exit that. This sketch, the other one is hiding. See that the other one is hiding? It's right there. Let me hide it. Right click all the way down and isolate. When you isolate it, it's no longer related to that projection. So I say isolate. Notice that the color changed from yellow to white. Now I can do whatever I want. For example, I can go to this. I can go to that sketch, and I can select these things. Control 1, control 2, or I can make a window around it. And then you want to rotate this thing by 5 degrees. In the transformation toolbar, there is a rotate icon right there. And it asks you, you want how many instances? I want one instant. Do you want duplicate mode? No, I don't want duplicate mode. I don't want the original one. And I want it by an angle. But before you put the angle, you may sit there and look at this thing for a while. Nothing is happening. Look at the bottom left corner. Bottom left corner of the screen, it says select or click the rotation center. So I want to rotate it about this point. And now you can go ahead and put whatever you want. So for example, 5 degrees. And we say, okay, notice that when I do this, this is twisted or turns it by 5 degrees. There. Good. Exit. Here's my other sketch, by the way. There's the other sketch. Now I'm going to take this thing and project it on this guy. So I will go to that plane, sketch on it. Let me hide the first sketch so that I don't see it. Right here. And I want to project these things on this sketch. So let me see now, project. Let me see, I can pre-select these, 1, 2, 3, and project it. Yep, say okay. And notice that if I hide this, if I exit that, first of all, exit that. Here's the second one. The first one is in hiding, just to show you where it is right there. This was obtained by projecting this thing and rotating it by 5 degrees. And I'll do exactly the same thing here. But in order to do that, I have to isolate it. So put the cursor on it, right click and isolate. Notice it turns yellow. And now I can go to that sketch. Let me hide 1 and 2. Hide 1 and 2. I'll go to that sketch. And I rotate. Let me see now. Rotate this one, that one, and that one. Actually, cancel that. Sorry. Pre-select all of them. 1, control 2, control 3, and then rotate. And I don't want the duplicate mode. And watch, remember the bottom left corner, it says select the rotation center. So I select this point, and now I can go and put 5 degrees here. Good. Exit. And now you can see all 3 of them. Hide and show, hide and show. This was the original one. That's this one rotated 5 degrees. And that's this one rotated by another 5 degrees. Okay. So now we are, let's save this thing, by the way. Multi-section solid. Here is the way you create solids. Here is a multi-section solid. You click on it. And this is, of all these things that we have here, this is probably the most involved thing. But for us, it's very simple. It says, hey, look, you want to put a solid through these 3 sketches? Select them. So here's 1, 2, 3. The only thing you have to make sure is to make sure that the closing points are kind of the same. Now notice that the closing point of this is here. The closing point of this is the direction is fine. This counterclockwise. counterclockwise. You can see that starts here counterclockwise, counterclockwise. But the closing point of this is different from I have two choices. I can select this and make this thing the closing point, remove it, make it some other point, or I can select this and make that thing closing point. That's what I'm going to do. Put the cursor there, right click, replace that guy. Notice that now it's counterclockwise and these line up. And the same thing on this one. Right click, replace this one. Now they all go counterclockwise and they all kind of have a matching closing point. And say okay. And there we are. Okay. We want to change the rendering here so that you can see that one edge right there. Anyway, so that is this. All right. Let's save this thing.